Hello everyone, I'm Naokichi. If you want to know more about Russia and you understand my English, please welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss interesting topic as usually about racism and nationalism as we like and exactly about position of immigrants from Middle Asia in Russia. That is a huge group of immigrants that we have. Some of them are legal, some of them are not legal, but what is the main difference between, for example, Caucasian people and people from Middle Asia? First of all, people from Caucasus mostly, except Armenian, they're citizens of Russian Federation. They can move to Moscow, it's okay for them. People from Middle Asia, they are not citizens of Russian Federation. They can't work here. For working, they need special permission. It's cost. I think something like their salary for months, like that. And then additionally they need different patent, registration, etc. So what is a huge difference? People from Caucasus, they are, they are more socialized. I mean, I can see them in cafe, in restaurants, in club, in karaoke even. People from Middle Asia, no, I never see them in places like that. I see them only when they work for cleaning, or in cheap shops when they buy food, or in market when they buy clothes. About markets I will tell you, that is an interesting story. So that is the people who live, they like live parallel life. They are here in the same time. They are. I can't say that it's a question of racism. I'm sure that you have immigrants in your country too, or maybe you are an immigrant. So I continue to apply that there is no any racism in Russia, but there is inequality, problem of inequality and social class differences. So for these people, yes, they receive some, I can't say that it's pressure. No, we just, a lot of Russians look at them as on a shit. Why? Because mostly it's poor people. They arrive here, they live in cheap places, they work difficult to work, dirty work, and there is huge difference between Russia and USA, for example, or with Europe. And I can see that in Russia, for example, you almost never can see adult men who working like for cleaning, or even a waiter in restaurant. Waiter in restaurants, it's never adult man or adult woman. It's all the time young people, because for adult men it's not respectful. So in Russia it's a huge problem that we have more respectful and less respectful work. Is a link with size of salary? Yes, I think there is a link. So a problem with Middle Asian people is that they are more poor. That is why they receive such a problem when they can't rent a flat. But yes, of course, and for sure they can't find interesting job for them. But question, it's not their nationality. I'm sure that if we take any Asiatic guy, but it's not for people who speak Russian perfectly, because in some parts of Middle Asia there is a lot of people and people who live in capitals, or for example Kazakhstan is Middle Asia too, but they're okay. They are actually the same as Belarusians. They live on the same rights. It's okay for them. They work everywhere. And I can say that yes, they look they look like people from Middle Asia, but I don't think that they receive some pressure or abuse. What problem Middle Asian can meet? For sure, it's difficult for them to find a flat, because nobody wants rent a flat for them. Why? Because yes, and there is a cliche that they will live a lot of people together. a lot of people, families, maybe they will bring some insects, but it's not because they're another race, because they are poor. And I, in some points I agree with these people, because what, I really was shocked. It's a story from my life. I worked as an assistant of journalist. We make article about HIV, and it was sujet when we met with a prostitute who work on the street, the cheap woman on the street. Of course, 90% of them, it's women who take drugs and they have HIV and another illness. So this lady, she say, and they cost like, I don't know, 10 or 15 euro for different kind of services. And the lady, she said that there is some people who ask not safety sex. And I asked what people could ask about that, and she said it's immigrants from Middle Asia. What is interesting is that they specialized exactly in sexual criminals, on raping. Almost 70% of all rapes in Russia make immigrants from Middle Asia. I don't want to say anything, it's just like that. At the same time, their position is very difficult, because they are poor. It means that they are weak, they are not socially protected, a lot of them are not legal. What does it mean? That people use them, steal their money, don't pay their salaries, try to take all their money what they have, and cheat them enough often. Yes, it's very terrible. I'm very pity for these people. Really, I just don't understand what push these people arrive to Russia, survive with all these terrible things. I don't know what kind of life they have in their countries. I suppose it's enough difficult there. For one hand, we should stop that immigration, because for sure they because for sure they make concurrence in market of employment. For sure they work as building, recover of roads, everything, and taxi drivers, and what they make with taxi system in Russia. So now in Moscow, for example, it's very bright and wide. Here we use a lot of application in phone. So I just ordered my taxi, that guy arrived. We even don't communicate, because he has that navigation, etc. And we even don't discuss any question. We just make everything automatically. So this man, enough often it's people who don't speak even Russian. For sure their salary is very small, like that. They begin work a lot. 2 days ago in Russia, in Moscow, it was a strange accident. You see this guy, it's a Middle Asian guy. After that he explained that he was working like 20 hours, and before he sleep 3 or 4 hours. And I'm not surprised. I suppose that it's possible that all these people, they work a lot and they sleep in their cars, and quality of taxi decrease. And less and less people, Slavic people that I see who are taxi drivers. Sometimes I see them in so-called black cars. It's expensive taxi. That's all. For cheap taxi, but in Moscow cheap taxis are fine, really good. Hyundai and etc. Everything is clean, it's okay. In other cities of Russia it's not so fine. So in 90% of taxi drivers, they are from Middle Asia. For their sexuality, it was this story happened with me a few years ago. 5 in the morning. I'm drunk. I'm come back in from the club, just in 50 meters from my house. Two small guys, Middle Asian guys, try to flirt with me. I just do, no, sorry guys, bye. And they say, oh, why you don't want to meet with us? Is it because we are not Russian? And I was so confused, because it's two small men, and I'm alone. It's 5 in the morning, nobody around, and for my happiness, a car of police arrive and are far, but they see, of course I was drunk, maybe I didn't saw that car immediately, but that guys, they saw that car immediately, and they hide themselves. They just disappeared in the wall. It was so funny. They just became a wall, because I suppose they didn't had any permission to leave. It's not legal immigrants. Can you imagine where they live? What kind of health services they take? In the same time, some part of Middle Asian men, opposite of Caucasian men who never mix with Russian people, some Middle Asian people, they mix with the Russian. We have mixed families. I can't say that it's about a high level society. No, it's mostly for low levels. It's different men and women. It could be Belarusian woman or Russian woman from another parts of Russia, from small villages, etc. And they work together in different services and make families. And the interesting story, a funny story, that the Belarusian woman, she say, when I was 30, I had 2 kids already, and I was tired of my Belarusian husband, and I met the Tajikian guy. He was virgin, so after that they marry. Now she is pregnant, so they have a very nice family. And everything is perfect in their life, and she says that this Tajikistan guy, thanks God that he is not such a pervert as her previous Belarusian husband. It was not very big pervertation what she explained to me. I hope this video was interesting for you. Thumbs up and subscribe on my channel.